This is The Great Outdoors with Jason White, exploring the great outdoors in Pennsylvania and beyond. Brought to you by the Mariana Outdoorsmen Association and by Wild Acres Farm, Fishery, and Regulated Hunting Grounds. Now, The Great Outdoors with Jason White.
Good morning. I'm filling in for Jason White this morning. It's a pleasure. Todd Miner here, member of Mariana Outdoors, and have Tyler Anderson from the Farm Bureau here. He's our ROD. Good morning, Tyler. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Todd. I'm mighty good today.
Well, thank you for being here this morning. Jason couldn't be here, so we're going to try to fill in for him. We'll do the best we can today. So we've got a couple topics we're going to discuss this morning. I guess we'll just jump right into it. One of the topics Jason had brought up to me kind of alarmed me a little bit. It's electric vehicle charging stations at state parks and forests here in the state, and it really hit home with me a little bit when I looked into this. It's the Volkswagen settlement. You can go charge your electric vehicle in the state parks. Just pull up to them, charge for free, and drive off, and no cost at all. You can just drive around for free, and hey, that's hunky dory if you have an electric vehicle, and just keep on driving for free. I mean, those are great, as long as it's being funded and being taken care of. But there's always a cost to somebody there, and eventually that settlement's going to run out from Volkswagen, and it's going to land on the shoulders of somebody, and that's usually the taxpayers. And that's all of us listening at home, us sitting here talking right now, and that hits us. And I don't know. I mean, what's your thoughts on that, Tyler?
I gotta say, it is nice seeing funding going to state parks and forests. That's something that I think that we're all for in the end. But that said, is the long-term feasibility of this, really goes into who does continue paying for it. Is the funding enough to even actually get these 41? Is that enough funding to even get them built? Because it's not cheap to build electric charging stations. I mean,
no, it's quite expensive. The upkeep, the maintenance, and all that. And electric just keeps going up and up and up. I mean, what about our seniors out there that can't pay their bills and have to choose between their bills and their medications? I mean, I have an elderly father that has to decide what he's going to do every month and things. And I mean, your parents are getting older. I mean, fortunate they have a good retirement and everything, and they're able to do those things. But there's a lot of people that can't. We live in a rural area here that people have to decide those things that they can't do this. And hey, those things it'd be nice to maybe put to some of those communities instead of people that are out just getting a free charge on their vehicles. And I understand that grants go to specific things and they have to go to specific areas, and that they're put there for a reason. So I'm not trying to say, oh, we should just put it to wherever, but it just kind of bugs me a little bit that free, and I don't know, it just gets me a little bit. There's no fees at all, and if I live beside a state park and I could charge my vehicle for free, I might even buy an electric car. And boy, I'm being such a hypocrite when I say that, because I'm not for them. I know I researched what the lithium battery takes to get one and the mining of them, and we've discussed that a little bit. I mean, I don't have exact proof that it's little slave kids out there mining these batteries, but I do believe it in my heart that that's what's going on. And
well, that's what it's like. Some estimates have it around 15 tons of CO2 are emitted per ton of lithium mined. So, and I mean, that's lithium mined, not lithium used as well. You've been around mining. We're from Southwest Pennsylvania. We know a lot about mining. And not everything you mine out of the mine is actually used for what it's supposed to be. So, there's waste in there. So, that's 15. You could say that's 15 tons per car that's produced and then it's garbage. It goes to waste after that battery's done.
Right, and the thing is, these lithium, it's out of sight, out of mind here, because the lithium's coming from overseas. For the most part. So it's a lot of people here can say, it's kumbaya, and it's all roses and butterflies, per se, and it's everybody can say how clean and green it is, because we're not seeing the effects of the lithium mines right here. We're not seeing the big pits in the ground and everything like that. So it all looks great here in America, and a lot of different places. But if you get overseas and actually see some of these pictures of these lithium mines, you might actually see some of the impacts of what it does, and those areas are a lot different. What it, actually the green actually is. It's not very green. Yeah, okay, it is nice for a car going down the road, not putting out some emissions here, but sometimes the grass isn't always greener on the other side, as they say. So I don't know. I mean, this one really burns me a little bit. I think we need alternatives at times. I'm not against that at all, but we really need to think this through before we just jump in with both feet. And this one got me pretty hard.
Yeah, and we're not even getting into the fact of we're not seeing, we may not see the mining, and we're not even seeing the waste, the disposal yet. You think about the number of gas cars out there currently. If you replace all those with battery cars, where's all that waste for all those batteries going? We don't have the facilities yet to deal with that number and mass of lithium batteries going to a waste facility. If you replace electric cars are maybe 5% right now, make them 90%. What are we doing with all those garbage batteries?
Right. I mean, you mean they're not recycling them?
Yeah, no.
I mean, I'm being a hypocrite, or not a hypocrite. I'm being sarcastic there. It's sorry for that. I'm a township supervisor here also, so I'm going to hit another one. State liquid fuels. Right now, their electric cars are going down the road for free. That one really gets me also. Gas-powered vehicles pay every time they go to the pump. Electric cars, free, going down the road. Free. Once again, free. There's no tax on them after they leave the lot. They just go down the road for free. Once again, free. Who's paying for that? Nobody. It's not right. In the state of Pennsylvania, there is no tax on them to go down the road. The potholes they're creating, the impact on our infrastructure, nobody is paying for them. So, once again, the burden is put on everybody else for these green cars. It's not right. I mean, they're getting charged for free at your grocery stores, at these charging stations. Somebody else is paying for them. Why is it right? I buy a eco-friendly diesel truck. I'm getting close to 40 miles a gallon on the road in my truck. Most trucks don't get that. I bought it because it is more economy friendly. I can't get a discount on diesel because of that. I don't get a discount at my taxes. But, if I get an electric vehicle, I can charge for free at Martin's down in Connellsville. I can go to the state park and charge for free. Someone paid for that. Well, Volkswagen paid for these at the state parks, because they violated somebody with the EPA, Boy, I tell you, it's just this one really hit me pretty hard.
Did you know? So we're talking about road and the fact essentially they're not paying taxes to help fix these roads, but on average, an electric car wastes 30% more than a comparable gas-powered car.
So what's that doing for our infrastructure?
Exactly.
Beating down on our roads. And let me tell you, the price of asphalt, I just paved roads in my township. It cost me considerably more than it did last year, the year before, since wonderful COVID hit and drove inflation up. And that's something else we're going to talk about here later in the show. The price of everything has went up, skyrocketed. What it costs now to raise a family, to do things. To buy a house now, you used to be able to get a house. I think it was $80,000 was the average income you needed to be able to get a house. Now it's over $100,000 you have to make to be able to purchase a house in this state, and it's terrible. The cost to just raise a family has gone up and up and up. I mean, I'm past that point in my life now. I've raised my family, but I have a grandchild now, and probably have more, before I leave this earth. We all have an expiration date, but we want to leave this earth in better better standings than what you came into it on. I try to give back now. I'm at that point in my life where I want to give back. That's why I sit on boards. I sit on different things. I want to see different things. That's why I'm passionate about it. I'm not saying green's bad. I'm telling you, alternative fuels are good. We got to look into those things. We got to save this planet, but we can't do it by closing a blind eye to different things. We can't just do it blindly by saying, "Oh, well, this is better because it's better here in America." But on the other side of the world, we're just destroying it by mining lithium. That's not the answer. I mean, it's just we have to open our eyes. We can't just do it good here and bad over there. It's pollute rivers overseas and clean them up here. Okay, it's good here, not there. It's not the answer. It definitely is not. And I'm sorry, but just because your electric vehicle is not putting out an emissions, you shouldn't get to drive down the road for free because I'm driving a gas-powered vehicle. It's not right. I mean, you should have to pay some type of tax. You're riding on the same road as I am. You're causing potholes. You're going down the same road. It's just everybody should have to pay their fair share.
I mean, the gas tax was not implemented for emissions. That was not the point of it in the first place. And now all of a sudden, retroactively, it's how we're viewing it. And that's not how it works. It was meant for fixing and repairing roads, and now we have a whole other subset of cars that are just exempt for it because retroactively people think of the gas tax as an emission tax, and it's not what it is.
No, it's not at all. It was made to keep upkeep on the roads.
Yeah.
And and that's so many times people just they come with their pitchforks and bonfires. They want their roads fixed. They want their roads fixed. Well, we only get a certain amount of money in the townships to fix roads, and let me tell you, we're on a shoestring budget that it does not nowhere near enough, and we have to do so little or so much with so little. I want to make sure I say that right. And let me tell you, the electric vehicles is going to put a hurt on that, especially with the push for them. It's terrible. Like I said, I'm not against them, and look how long it takes to even go on a trip. You want to go on a trip with your family down to Florida. I mean, what's it take to charge an electric vehicle? 6-7 hours? I mean, I'm just guessing. I don't know exactly, but I've heard horror stories how long it actually takes to charge a vehicle. So what is the answer here? I mean, I don't know. And so you go into a state park, and if someone does live close and they're taking advantage of this, I can see a lot of problems with this. I mean, because I don't know how you could stop someone from going and charging their vehicle, getting on their e-bike and riding home if they live close to this. 'Cause I'm telling you, I would do it.
Yeah. No, and I have friends that have electric cars. A friend of mine has 2 Teslas, and I've ridden them, and they're nice. Like, I'm not going to diss on them. They're nice cars. They ride really nice and all that.
Fast, powerful.
Yeah. I mean, they're good, solid cars. And not just Teslas, other ones as well. But, it does have its own fallbacks. I even thought about buying one myself at one point. But, when it comes to long distances, which I like to drive, I might want to drive down to Florida at some point. And like you said, it could take up to 12 hours depending on the charger. The Tesla chargers are, some of the better ones, and they charge really, really fast. I think they can do like 6 or 8, but other ones, they take, 12-hour shifts. So what are you doing that whole 12 hours?
Right. And the grids, I mean, you get into the rural areas here. Our grid's not even set up for all this around here. And then, thousands of dollars to put it at your home, to set it up, I mean, it is a lot of money. So once again, 41 of these set up in our state parks and, forest. The cost of this is just mind-boggling what was put out to do this. Do I think it's terrible? Not really, but where's the cost share here? And everybody, free ride once again, and it just blows my mind that just free. And I mean, I hate to get political on this, but my goodness, it just, I hope people vote different this fall. The country cannot just keep going free, or else we're going to be living in a society where free might not be where you want to be. You might not have choices at that point, because you might be getting a loaf of bread handed to you, and, and that might be the point where, free might not be a good thing at that point. I mean, that's That's why I sit on the different agricultural boards I sit on. It's fight for the farmers, fight for the different things, and I don't know.
Free never works out. Nothing's ever free. It's not how it ends up being. Someone always pays. Numerous. There's other nations that are currently seeing that more and more. And when you do have free, it backfires.
For
sure.
Everybody thought Canada's free healthcare was so great. I mean, you talk to some Canadians now and waiting and waiting and waiting. Now they're coming back to America for different services and such. Now it's because it didn't work.
Well, they have certain loopholes now as well that actually allow them to have paid paid practices in certain areas.
Right.
Paid services.
Because it just didn't work.
Yeah, it failed miserably. Turns out doctors don't want to work for free.
This does, yeah. How do you pay back your bills? How do you do different things? Exactly. I mean, it's just something there, but I mean, that's a whole nother topic. I mean, I don't even want to get into healthcare. I watched my father work his whole life away to get told, you're on Medicare. If you're on Medicaid, you could do a whole heck of a lot better. But that's, like I said, that's a different show, different topic, and not for today. But that's another one that burns me a little bit. But this one here, I mean, people, please wake up and see this stuff. I mean, free's not always free, and but that leads into us, with the Farm Bureau. I mean, that's Tyler works for the Farm Bureau. I sit on the Farm Bureau board, and we fight for this kind of stuff. I mean, we got to keep our food going. I mean, we got to keep farmers going. I mean, I've said this several times on this show. Farmers are the one population that buys it retail and sells it wholesale. I mean, kind of insanity, but it's what they have to do to keep the world going and keep us eating, keep us surviving. And if you want to chime in on that, Tyler, I mean, you deal with this daily. It's your job, and I mean, thank you for what you do, and thank the Farm Bureau.
No, thank you, Todd. I mean, thank you for serving on the board and being part of the Farm Bureau, because it's advocates that we need, or as I like to say, advocates. But yeah, it's advocates that we need, because it's something to remember that farmers make up less than 2% of the population in Pennsylvania. That's less than 2% of the population that is producing the food. Nationwide, it's less than 2.5, and the United States is one of the largest farm producing countries in the world. So we are producing a large portion. The only one that even comes close to us is Brazil. Brazil is another very large ag producer, and essentially Brazil and the United States feed the world. But that said, lately, especially, we've seen it a lot here with inflation just going up, and it's making it harder for every farmer. Like you mentioned a little bit there is, farmers buy retail and they sell everything wholesale. When I go and I buy diesel fuel, I'm just going to the same place that all you guys are going and buying diesel fuel, but I'm hoping to go cut some hay, and, after I cut that hay, I'm going to bale it up, and then I'm going to sell it to somebody for, wholesale prices, maybe $30 a bale at the most if I'm lucky. And
if Mother Nature doesn't dump rain on it and ruin it, and then you have to sell for mulch hay for a third of what it's worth, and that's if the gas and oil industry needs it, to put down, or the side of the road for seeding, and that's, I mean, Mother Nature's always a thorn in the side. I mean, with the drought this year, I mean, that's caused a major issue, and other times it's too much rain, and you got to have things perfect for agriculture too. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in there, but it made me think about that. It's always a factor. So many factors in farming. It's never perfect. It's never easy. For sure.
Yeah. Now that you hit it hard with that, hit it home with that drought part, because it killed a lot of people's second cutting this year. And then it's really hurting a lot of people's corn, and, with getting into more game-related issues, it's really that drought shortened corn, hurt second cuttings, and then deer, our deer population's coming in and really hitting hard on some of those areas. It's hitting hard at that short corn. It's easier to get at ears, and, it's hitting that area as well.
Well, and that drove the deer out of the forest, too, because it didn't produce the feed for the animals in the forest, and now they're going out looking for other new sources of feed, so they're going to the farms even harder now, so that is driving the wildlife into the farm field's even harder now. So I mean, that's going to be harder on the farmers this year. So I mean, that really does hit them hard, big time this year. So it's going to be a rough year.
Yeah,
for,
yeah.
especially in our area. I mean, the drought was hard on us in western Pennsylvania, really bad this year. Fayette County got hit really bad with it. Somerset County, I mean, the whole area, western PA just got it bad. I mean, down into Green, I mean, the whole area.
Yeah,
It was bad. Started off with a wet spring, and then bam, no rain at all.
Yeah, I will thank the Lord that we did at least have that wet spring. At least gave some of our crops a nice starter point. It could always be worse. So I'll thank the Lord for anything that's good there. So.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the water table at least got a good start. That was for sure, and it's came back now. I mean, heck, wearing a long sleeve shirt in August. I mean, I never thought I'd see myself doing that. It's got a little chilly. I'm at a fair last night. Watching a livestock show last night in a long sleeve shirt, and got chilly. I'm like, what is this? It's August. I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt. This isn't right. It's 40-degree weather waking up in August. It's crazy, and it's going to be back in the 80s here towards the end of the week. But hey, we'll take it. I mean, it's western Pennsylvania weather. You never know. I mean, snowing in September might happen. You just never know. I mean, it's anything can happen anytime. But I mean, hey, we take it, grain of salt, and just keep moving. We're resilient, and just keep making things happen for sure. So, but
I personally was enjoying the really cool weather though, because we had to build some temporary fence, and that nice cool weather when you're building temporary fence is way better than 90-degree weather.
Well, it's a township. I mean, that's for sure too. I mean, when you're out there, digging holes or whatever. I mean, that's for sure. Also, that pavement gets pretty darn hot, and I can definitely say that. I mean, my guys definitely appreciate that. I mean, they do. They bust their butt every day. So I mean, I know this has been a nice break for that also, and I can say that for sure. And I mean, farmers for sure. They're appreciating this cooler weather. The animals sure appreciated that at the fair this week when I was over there at Westmoreland. Heck, the cattle were even acting up a little bit at the steer show the other night. I think they were just feeling great about the cool weather. That's for sure.
Loosen them up.
Yes, that's. It was interesting because you just don't see those kind of temperatures in August.
No.
I mean, I liked it, but. What do you think about these high prices for farmers here? What have you heard from the farmers? How is it affecting people across the region? I mean, you deal with a lot of farmers. I mean, is it?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely affecting a lot of people, and it's it's hitting at the worst spots too. Just general overall inflation for anything. Electronics is a big one. As we progress, all of our equipment's becoming a lot more technology based, and technology, of course, is getting hit pretty bad by inflation. It's one of the bigger indicators of inflation as we watch things like technology prices and chips going up in price, CPUs, stuff like that. All that's increasing in price. The repairs are increasing in cost. And then at the same time, currently we have super low corn prices. So, I feel really, a lot of these corn producers, a lot of these grain producers coming up to this fall are getting a little bit worried, I'm sure, as these corn prices are going lower. We're on $3, $4 corn now, and I mean, I'm sure some people hear me say 4, and they'll be like, no, it's all 3. And that's scary. Whenever they've already spent that money too. That's
right.
Not something that gets out there in the field. They spent the money. They put the repairs in already. All they have to do is harvest it, and that'll cost them more money. And they got to harvest it. You can't. Yeah, you can't just leave it there and come back later whenever the corn price goes up. I wish I'm sure a lot of people wish they could.
Oh, exactly. I mean, everything has an expiration price whenever it's a live commodity, beef, corn, no matter what it is. If it's a live animal product, no matter what it is, you have to take it when it's needed, and that's the thing with farming. You don't just put it on a shelf and forget about it. And that's the thing with farming. You get sick, you still got to farm. You might be able to get someone to take your place for a day, but it's hard for a farmer. It's 24/7. I mean, the sick days are not very easily come by. It's Snow days are not there. It's farming is its own world, its own lifestyle.
I mean,
It's tough, and God bless the farmers. I mean, because they feed us. It's so hard to get into, so expensive. Fuel prices dictate so much with farming. Fertilizer prices are still through the roof. I mean, compared to what they were, several years ago.
I mean, prior to the Ukraine war, I mean that really what sparked off the whole fertilizer price, and that's actually, I'm glad you mentioned fertilizers, because into corn, whole idea of corn, $3 corn, but right now we have some almost record fertilizer prices.
Yes.
So these people already paid for that fertilizer.
Oh,
That's done.
Unbelievable. And then the pesticides and it's just unbelievable. Don't even try to buy Roundup or any product like that. I mean, that's just unbelievable too.
Oh no, yeah.
I was looking at some new products, for weed killer around the township there, and a guy quoted me a 5-gallon product that I could get without a license for $1,400. I'm like, are you crazy? I mean, it just about blew me away. He's like, well, it'll work. I'm like, well, it better do more than work, and there's no guarantee it'll work. The last stuff he sold me didn't work. And he's like, well, it should have. Well, it didn't, And I'm like, I'm not taking another chance on that. I'm spending taxpayer money on that.
Yeah.
And I'm not taking another chance. I mean, we'll just have to cut it and hope, stuff works a little better.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not going to buy foo-foo dust and hope it works again. It just doesn't work that way. And I don't know. Farmers are just having such a hard time at all this. They're scared to get the insurance because crop insurance doesn't pay out like you wish it would, and
Nope.
such denials on it and everything else.
Well, and even when you do, even when you do claim your crop insurance, you're running a risk because, you claim it so many times, they're just going to drop you. They're not coming back to you.
Right.
They're there to make money.
Oh, insurance companies are not in it to lose. That's for sure. But you take insurance because it's insurance.
Yep.
But the weather's just been so unpredictable every year for everybody and everything. I mean, that's why insurance is going through the roof. I saw a thing today, auto insurance might go up for Western PA region, and like we want to see that.
Well, that's what you will see. I mean, it's definitely, from my understanding, you're going to see a lot of increases in the auto insurance industry. I work around insurance quite a bit, with Nationwide being a partner of Farm Bureau, so I get to see and I talk to a number of agents, and from my understanding, that's going to be the going rate is auto insurance is going up. So,
now what's causing that? I didn't hear that yet, but I mean, I just saw an article this morning about auto insurance for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, just overall, the auto insurance across the nation has kind of actually been taking a loss. Like, there's more claims, and they're not really making money. And that's, from my understanding of every auto insurance company, they are not making money off of auto insurance. So, that's how the world works. Whenever someone's not making money on it,
Prices go up.
It's not even the fact of that they're making money. They're not even breaking even. They're losing money.
Right.
So, the prices would go up to balance it out, and
yeah, because they're not going to do it to lose money. It's not out of their goodness of their heart that they're in business.
Yeah.
They have to make money. That's for sure. That's any business.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, that's just not unfortunately. That's why business is business.
Well, that's how the world works.
Yes.
That's you got to pay your bills just as much as the next guy, and we all need food. We all need water. We all need, our essentials. A roof.
Yes. So, just real quick, I do want to throw something unrag related in before we go into something else I wanted to talk about. September 12th and 13th, there's going to be a county supervisor convention up at the Fayette County Fairgrounds. For any contractors out there that would like to come up, or farmers that would like to come up and see different equipment and different companies that are going to be there on display. I believe there's over 30 indoor and outdoor vendors in each areas. It's going to be really good. Come up and check out the different displays that's going to be there. I believe all the townships will be represented there. It'll be a very nice event. Lots of different people from Caterpillar, Case, Golden Equipment. Just trying to think of different ones that are going to be there. North Fayette, PA American, just some of the different people that's going to be there. Be a very nice event. Ron Lamb, the president of the association, he's been really busting his butt to make it such a successful event. Just like to give him a shout out and plug for that. But it is something that farmers and different contractors could benefit in the area. It's been growing every year, and this year is really going to be something. But I think it's something that people could benefit in the area. But I just wanted to throw a little plug in for that. But I wanted to lead into something. I was stopped at Ag Progress Days there and saw the different events there, and that's something that I think more people from Western PA need to get to and see. You know, supervisors included. I mean, there's such things that they could even, digest and gain from up there from different things, and farmers and everything else up there. I mean, if you want to talk about that a little bit, I mean, I know you were there for the entire event, and if you want to talk about some things that were going on up there for Progress Days, I mean, it's a free event. Legislators are there. I mean, there's all new equipment there, different demonstrations. I mean, it's every August up at Penn State. That's what their fields, and I mean, I'm not exactly sure what that's
all their
called,
ground.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful facility. It's not far from Penn State's main campus up there. But if you want to
very
talk
close.
about that a little bit up there,
Yeah.
what all was going on.
So real fast though, also want to say to listeners is huge shout out to township supervisors because they do a lot, and I feel like a lot of people don't really, we vote for them, but we don't really think about how much they do until we have a complaint, and then we all run to them real fast and we're like, hey, fix this thing that we don't like right now, and then after they fix it, then we disappear again, or we bug them until they do fix it. Then eventually they do, but huge shout out to those guys because they put in a lot of work. And I know that's the elected job, but that said, it's still a job that they decide to run for and take on. So, thank you guys to all township supervisors for putting in that work. And I do know the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau, we work a lot with local township supervisors. I mean, honestly, I would say the most that we get done sometimes is with local politicians, whether it be county commissioners or township supervisors. And often enough, those local politicians are the ones that are almost forgotten about. People don't think about their elections, and they're super important. So,
Well, all elections are important, but I will say the local ones, people don't realize how important that impacts your everyday life, and that is for sure. But thank you, Tyler.
yeah. But get back into the Ag Progress Days, then to the actual question you were bringing up. The Ag Progress Days is a show hosted by Penn State's College of Agricultural Sciences, and it showcases educational programs, current research, and the latest innovations in agricultural equipment and technology. So, it has some of the newest state-of-the-art, like combines and, just different technologies across the ag. I was looking at a couple silage baggers made by some Mennonite folk out, and I want to say they're out of Lancaster. Yeah, it was out of Lancaster. So, and I mean, these are guys that literally just started making silage baggers out in Lancaster, and these are 55,000. If you're gonna go buy a new one, it's gonna cost you 100,000 from someone else that's making a silage bagger, and these guys are making them and they're selling them for about half the price at about $55,000. So it's really, you can see a lot of really cool things out there that are almost mind blowing as small businesses to.
But that's half the price, so
Yeah.
I mean that's great. You know?
And it was, like I said, it started by just a Mennonite family out there, and they just started doing it.
Thought outside the box and did it.
Yep.
That's great.
Nice, really good designs too on top of it. Like I just bought a bagger myself, and I almost wish I'd had this one instead. But oh well, that's how the world crumbles, But overall, Ag Progress Days is a really fun event, and Farm Bureau is really happy to be out there. We have a building that we share with a couple vendors, but we kind of, control the building, I guess, in a word. And you can come in there and see the different things that the Farm Bureau has to offer, from our foundation that we use to help educate kids across the state for agriculture. Ag in a classroom and ag lab is the main thing from our foundation. And you can go in there and you can see a lot of their displays and a lot of things that they're teaching kids.
What you just said there, I mean, I say it every chance I get. Kids are our future. We have to keep kids involved, engaged, and I just can't ever say that enough. We just have to keep kids going, and it's just so important. And I mean, I can never state that enough. That's why I continue to work with 4-H FFA. I sit on the advisory board here in the county with our FFA program. I work with 4-H youth, and I don't know, I think it's the greatest organizations there is, and it's just so important. But the kids they're our future.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are. I mean, that's where you got your foundation in agriculture. I mean, yeah, you grew up on a farm, but you were involved in the 4-H, and I mean, I think that's just foundations, all kids. I mean, I grew up 4-H, and I wouldn't have grown up on a farm, but I pushed my parents to let me be involved in 4-H. And my dad, yeah, he grew up on a small farm, started working in a sawmill at 11. But, I mean, that was just 4-H is what gave me my love for agriculture. So, and I don't know, I can't give enough to the Farm Bureau, 4-H, and FFA. So thank you for that also. That being said, I'm going to let you run with the rest of the show. I have another meeting at 11. Tyler, thank you so much.
Nope, thank you for
run
having
with
me.
the rest of this, and I appreciate you.
Alrighty.
And I'll talk to you later.
All right, so now that he's out of here, I'm going to take over the show, I guess. And I'm going to plug real fast again the Pennsylvania Friends of Agriculture Foundation. That's a foundation that the Farm Bureau, works with. And like I said, they take ag labs to different schools. So, if you know of a school that you think should be getting a little more ag in their elementary schools, go to the Ag Foundation's website and look into them, and you can see some about them. That's pfbfriends.com. And they do a lot of education. Like I said, they're a nonprofit. It's working with kids is to teach agriculture. But some other things that we did at Ag Progress Days is what I wanted to go into. I myself am the YAP, Young Ag Professionals Coordinator for the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau. And I worked with our committee on doing a pedal tractor pull. And we go around to a number of businesses across the state. There's a lot of YAP across the state, and we go to different dealerships and get them to donate some toys. And then at the, after the tractor pulls are over, whoever wins each of the age categories, we had 3 different age categories, whoever wins them gets a toy. So I really appreciate those businesses for doing that. A local business, actually, Angelo Equipment, generously donated a toy for us, as well as Carnes Agway in Connellsville also donated a toy. And, that's a great thing. It goes to these kids, and as we get on, going back to the education part, is kids nowadays are maybe 1, 2, 3, even 4 or 5 generations away from agriculture. They don't have much of an idea about ag, and it's good to give things like that to kids and get in their hands, and they can just have a little piece of agriculture at home that they can always play with and work with. I'll also give a shout out to West Central. They also gave a toy. So, like I said, a number of different businesses gave us toys to give away these kids for the pedal tractor pulls. And next year, looking into the future here, I'm excited to look into getting a adult pedal tractor pull. So if you're a farmer or anybody interested in doing a adult pedal tractor pull, come on out to Ag Progress Days next year, Penn State, and find the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau booth and building, and you will see the Young Ag Professionals. And by darn it, there's going to be a sign up there, because I'm stoked for this. I want to compete, just for the fun of it, though, personally. But yeah, so Pennsylvania Farm Bureau is just doing its best to advocate and advocate for ag across Pennsylvania, and any way we can. So if you are involved, or you want to be involved in ag in any way, whether you directly are or are not, reach out, get involved with the Farm Bureau. we appreciate anybody and everybody to join in. As you know, it goes back to 2%. 2% of the population are farmers. We need everybody on board, because if it's just that 2% working for the farmers, we'll get nothing done. It kind of goes into things like the Farm Bill. We have a lot of important things that happen in there. We have food stamps, or they're not called, it's called SNAP now. It's a big part of ag, and something the Farm Bureau really pushes for is SNAP, so we can get food to everybody that's needed. And we work with that, and we get good subsidies for crop insurance and work through stuff like that. So it's a very nonpartisan. We're a hard nonpartisan organization, and we're here to work for everybody, because everybody needs to eat, and that's the bottom line. So, that said, I'm excited for next year's Ag Progress Days, and I hope that some of you listeners will be out there, and I can get to meet you. And if you come out and you remember this, you hear me, remember this, make sure you stop me and say something.